This is cause number 330078. The case is style, the state of Texas versus Brandon Wells. Mr. Wells, your full name, Brandon Scott Wells?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Wells? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Wells, I have before me the judge's explanation of rights of defendants without an attorney, and I see that you, oh, you're supposed to put your initials here. Yeah. Could you come forward? Well, you had a check mark. I think your initials are supposed to go there. Okay, thank you. You can stand back on next. Now, Mr. Wells, here, now, did you have an opportunity to read this document? Which is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without an Attorney. And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
You stated here that you want to apply for court-appointed counsel. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And also, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigency. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Wells, on the second page of this document where it says defendant's oath, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, is everything on this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Mr. Wells, based on this affidavit, you qualify, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that's being appointed to you is Mr. Giles R. Cole. Okay, Mr. Wells. Okay, Mr. Wells, stand on the X in front of our clerk and right here, that X on the floor, and follow her directions.
Raise your right hand. You swear that all the information given here today is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Juan Gabriel Bastillo. How you doing, Mr. Bastillo? You doing good? Okay, Mr. Bastillo. Mr. What's your step here? You're supposed to put the total right here on that line. Should be a pin down there. Okay. Okay, you can stand back. This is cause number 328192, the state of Texas versus Juan Gabriel Bastillo. Pagoda Bastillo. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. I'll go to Bastillo. I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document? And is that your signature at the bottom of this document on line that says defendant? There's one box checked, states that you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney. Is that correct? And I also have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigency. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Bastillo, is that your signature? Now, Mr. Bastillo, let me give this back to you. You need to fill that in. It's the 17th day of August, 2021. Thank you, Mr. Bastillo. Mr. Bastillo, is everything true and correct on this affidavit? Okay, Mr. Bastillo. Oops. Okay, Mr. Bastillo, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney, and your attorney that's going to be appointed in this case, his name is Mr. David Grove.
Oh, okay.
Bastillo, please stand on the X and follow the directions of our clerk. Yes, just once you finish filling that, just have a seat right there and we'll call you back up. Okay. Who we?
There's,
No, okay.
I have Brooks.
Okay. Nicholas Davies. This is cause number 330126. Case is the case is styled as State of Texas versus Nicholas Caleb Davies. Mr. Davis, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Davis? Okay.
Seven, eight, nine, five, 2419. Will be contacted within 24 hours. If it does not, call me, okay?
Yeah, just have a seat. He needs some, I need to give him some more information. Just have a seat and we'll call you back up. Um, really, could you make a copy of this? Okay, Mr. Davis, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that's going to be appointed in your case is Mr. Jack Lawrence. Get us to Mr. Davies. Mr. Davis, what you just been handed out is a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions and County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title?
Yes.
I will go over these bond conditions with you. And it reads, following arrest and accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein or ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, subsection A2 and section C2. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 4 does not apply to you because that only applies in a DWI case. And your case is not a DWI case. Now, Mr. Davis, if you fail to obey the terms and conditions of your bond may be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, you could be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Okay, now, Mr. Davis, that is your copy of the key. You're gonna stand on the X and you're gonna follow the directions of our clerk. Maisha Carter.
Okay, your phone number is 444-6747. I'm sorry. We can only put one down.
Okay, Ms. Carter. This is cause number 330154. The state of Texas versus Maisha J. Carter. Is that your full name? I can't hear you. Okay, Maisha Joyce Carter. Okay, how you doing, Ms. Carter? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Ms. Carter, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of the Defendant's Right of Defendant Without an Attorney. Recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature at the bottom of this document?
Yes.
And you put your initials on the third line stating that you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
Now, I also have before me an affidavit of indigency. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And on the second page of this document, Ms. Carter, is this your signature?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ms. Carter, did you read it, both of these documents? Did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Ms. Carter, I see you say you work at Synergy.
Thank you.
Utilities, no children. Now, I'm just looking on your transportation costs. Is that the cost that you have to pay for gas? You saying about 300 a month?
Yes.
Do you have insurance, automobile insurance, or anything like that?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Cell phone is 30 a month? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's two, I think that's below poverty level. 2,000, that's 24. Now, I was just looking at your, you said, well, just looking at your income, and that's how much you make a month. Is that correct?
Mhm.
And I was looking at your rent, your utilities, your total. Just have a seat. I need to look at this again. Just have a seat. I'll come back to you. Okay. Is it Laquelia Brooks? Uh, did I pronounce that right? Laquelia Brooks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How you doing, Ms. Brooks? You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is cause number 329870. Could you hold on a minute? Okay. Oh, Ms. Brooks. Now, I'm gonna show you a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defense without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And also, I have another document before me that's titled the affidavit of injury. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Ms. Brooks, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, prior to signing initially these documents, did you have an opportunity to read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ms. Brooks, I've read your docket. You meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And your attorney, Brooks. Your attorney in this case is going to be Mr. Todd LeBlanc.
Mr. Who?
Todd LeBlanc, our coordinator is going to give you all the information you need in contacting
Yes, sir.
Mr. LeBlanc before you leave.
Thank you.
Okay.
I just call my judge when I leave out here. Call my lawyer when I leave out. And he's gonna give me all the-
They're going to give you all that information you need.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Brooks, stand on the X and you're going to follow the directions of our clerk.
Thank you.
Okay. Todd LeBlanc is attorney.
You said 49934, and what's the rest? Oh.
Two dismissals for undoing. So she pled on a felony case.
Okay, cool, okay. 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 Yeah, give me.
Okay. However, if he does not, call him at this number, okay?
Rakima Harrison. Okay. It's Harrison. This is cause number 328-486. Ms. Harrison, how you doing? That's good. And your full name is Rakima Tamika Harrison? Now, Ms. Harrison, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes. Yes.
And are these your initials on the
Yes.
line saying you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
And do you recognize this document as titled Affidavit of Indigency?
Yes.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes.
Now, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything on these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Harrison, I see that you are what we call an automatic qualifier. So you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that's going to be appointed in this case is Mr. John Macy. Ms. Harrison, do you have a copy of
This one here.
standard bond conditions and in County Court at Law number 2? Yes, that's the title. Is that correct?
Mhm.
I will go over these conditions with you. And it reads, following arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. And that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that
I have a
condition?
question. We have a court order with child support,
Yes.
and we exchanged the kid.
Okay. You may have to talk to an attorney about that. Your court order may have an explanation in there about having a third party, but you can talk to an attorney about that.
Okay.
Now, do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 4 does not apply because that only applies in a DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case, it's an assault, okay? Now, Ms. Harrison, you're going to stand on the X to your left, follow the directions. Now, Ms. Harrison, you understand those conditions?
Yes.
Now, you understand that if you violate any terms of those conditions, your probation could be, your bond can be revoked and you can be put in jail. Do you understand that? All right. Okay, yes. Mr. Porter. This is cause number 329714, State of Texas versus Kalen Newton. Okay, your full name is Kalen Dante Newton. How you doing, Mr. Newton? That's good, Mr. Newton. I have before me 2 documents. First document that I have is Judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on this document? On the line that says defendant? and your initials on the line that state you want to apply for court appointed counsel. And Mr. Newton, do you recognize this document that's titled Affidavit of Indigency? And on page 2 of this document, Mr. Newton, is this your signature on the line that says defendant? Now, Mr. Newton, did you read these documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Now, Mr. Newton, I just reviewed the documents. Up here, you qualify for the appointment of court appointed attorney. And your attorney that's going to be appointed in this case is Mr. Charles McIntosh. Hey, Mr. Newton, please stand on the X to your left and follow the directions of the clerk. Leah Daigle. Who does she reside with?
She don't.
She's Thomas? Well, she needs to make note that there's a spot.
Attorney's name is Charles McIntosh, and next court date is October 6th. If you contact you at this number that you gave us, but if he doesn't, call him at that number, okay? Thank you.
This is cause number 328-512. The case is style of State of Texas versus Legal Lorraine Daigle. Ms. Daigle, is that your full name? How you doing, Ms. Daigle? You doing all right? I'm doing fine. Now, Ms. Daigle, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defense Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
I wanted to get an appointment.
I know, but do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that says defendant? And are these your initials on the line that says you want to apply for court-appointed attorney? Okay, now, Ms. Daigle, I also have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigency. Do you recognize this document? You have to speak up. And on page 2 of this document, Ms. Daigle, is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant? Now, Ms. Daigle, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you have an opportunity, did you read the document? And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Daigle, I've reviewed your document. You meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that's going to be appointed to represent you in this case is Ms. Lori Perazzo. Ms. Daigle, please stand on the X. You're going to follow the directions of our clerk. All right, and you have a blessed day. Okay. What happened to these two affidavits? What did you just say?
You just did that.
Which one is that?
That-
Leela, she did two.
Yeah, I think she had
Did
changed.
she
her
did two
mind.
of them?
Yeah, the one I gave you recently was the one that's.
She had-
for the-
Did two of them, okay.
Babylon.
And what was the other person's name?
Did you see
What's the name on that?
Babylon?
Oh, yeah, I don't have that one.
Huh?
Babino?
Well, we don't need your attorney, we need to come up with it.
Well,
I don't know.
where is it?
I never saw it. I didn't, unless you got it, so. But I never touched it.
No,
Your attorney's gonna
I got Carter and I have Savoy. Oh, unless it's in, hold on a minute.